Losing $300,000 from the REMI collapse. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's have a look at this article from news.com.au, looking at someone who's lost $300,000 from the REMI capital collapse. When we hear about someone losing huge amounts of money in crypto, it's a little different. You know, it's super high risk because you can make that money really, really quick. But losing it, well, to a developer, it's still pretty high risk, but not as high risk. And it's still tough to hear. And this is the thing. All of our investments that we make, you've got to realize it could be gone in an instant. That company that you've bought in that's super safe, it could be gone. You could lose it. You know, that's just what it is. It's part of the challenges. That money that you've got, physical money that you've got hoarded away, it could be deemed untransactable, or the bank could say it's expired or you can't use it anymore. That can happen too. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty unlikely, but it can happen. I've got some Chinese yuan notes that I can't exchange anymore. They're no longer used. So there you go. It happens. Let's have a look at this one. The Melbourne father described the current situation as torture, with the firm owing $70 million to creditors, but a bombshell email has revealed the extent of its troubles. Okay, oh boy. This is not one you like to hear. A Melbourne family has been left shocked and heartbroken after an Australian investment firm collapsed on Wednesday, owing them $300,000. But a bombshell email has revealed the extent of the company's problems well before it went into liquidation. The company, REMI Capital, went under with a whopping debt of $70 million and 450 investors impacted. Father of two, Richard, had used the company to invest with a wife and friend, and together the trio are owed hundreds of thousands, despite trying to pull out the money before REMI Capital's downfall. Part of their investment included a $150,000 payout after he claims his wife was bullied at work, and Richard described it as emotional money. Now, they fear they will never see their money after Chris Bakersville from insolvency firm Jurisch Sutherland was appointed as administrator, with the firm undertaking urgent financial investigations to map out where the $70 million had gone. This is heartbreaking. I'm going home at the end of the day, and both my wife and I were in tears separately driving home back from work, he told news.com.au. It's very emotionally, it's impacted my relationship with my wife. This is torture. We don't know how long this is going to go on for. I mean, you may have lost the money, you know, and losing a big chunk of money is tough. It's tough. And depending on how you lose it, it can really impact you. It can send you into a depression. You need to realize it's just money. And I know these are empty words and won't mean anything, but you can build up from it. You can. I guess that's one of the advantages of, you know, once you've gone through some struggles or you've overcome some challenges, there is some strength you can draw from that to realize that it does get better eventually, but still, it doesn't make it any easier going through this. I mean, you've got to diversify, even with the companies that you're investing in. Richard said that the trio started investing with REMI Capital back in May 2019, when it was originally known as C2 Capital, before it changed its name in July last year. Everything was good with interest payments being made on time, he said. But when COVID hit, this all changed, with payments initially delayed by 2 to 3 months before blowing out to wait times of 4 to 5 months. Oh boy, that's a big problem. When there was a delay on payments for 2 to 3 months, they paid it back with additional interest, so we didn't see any sign of trouble. That should have been a warning right there. But when Richard requested their funds be returned once the investment was completed, as the family wanted to buy a house, things started to go wrong. Oh, no. I was talking to a mate just a few days ago, and he was saying how, you know, he's got $100,000 sitting in the offset account, and he's thinking, maybe I should put it in some shares to get additional income. And I'm going, well, you know, I've got, shares I'm putting small amounts in of found money so I can still start building something up there over time without risking, big chunks of cash that we've got sitting there for things that we need or to offset your mortgage. And I said, don't worry, soon with interest rates going up, your offset account will be earning you the equivalent of 5%. It'll be great. So that made him feel better. But there you go. It makes sense. You want to get the greatest return for your savings. So you'd put it in something like this. You put it in shares. What would you think is higher risk, guys? Well, I would say this type of investment is a higher risk than going into a exchange traded fund. But you need to really talk to a professional here to weigh it up, because these are all dealing in the development sector. And maybe I'm only seeing that because I'm involved in construction and the industry. So payments including amounts between 25 and 125, which were due from September last year, have not been paid, and he reached out to the company for an explanation. The trio of investors received an email on the 25th of March this year from Peter Kral, Chief Financial Officer at REMI Capital, which said the company had experienced several delays in making repayments in recent months. In the bombshell email, he said the company was proposing a payment plan to you of amounts owed, and blamed a number of factors for the delay, including fortitude on these repayments of loaned monies by external parties to REMI totaling approximately $4 million, which was expected to be repaid to REMI late last year, early this year. Other reasons highlighted included the impact of the pandemic, restructuring of the business, which takes time to produce results, whilst dealing with legacy issues that were inherited from previous director. So this seems like they've been in a mess for some time. Oh boy. Look at the sectors they're working in. He also revealed that the sale of properties was time-consuming and prone to significant delays, and there was a failure of promised funding to effect settlement and unlock existing equity within current projects, so people aren't buying their jobs. REMI currently is in the process of selling several major property assets. It is expected that these divestments will create liquidity events shortly, he wrote in an email. Okay, so they're selling they're selling their assets to get money, create liquidity events. How do you write like this? It's business speak, REMI expects to make significant payments in mid to late April on outstanding amounts to you at a minimum of 50%, and the balance in a reasonably short space of time thereafter. There is no suggestion of any wrongdoing by Mr. Kral. Well, there isn't any implication that they are wrongdoing. He's laid it out there. He's told them what's going on. They can't sell their properties. But no payments were ever made, according to Richard. His wife emailed the firm on April 11th begging for the $245,000 invested by Richard and his friends and another $63,000 from the couple to be returned, offering to forfeit the 33 outstanding interest for both, adding they were hardly coping financially due to the delayed payment. But the family never received a response to their desperate plea. In an email earlier this week, REMI managing partner Mark Postage acknowledged there had been a lack of communication from the company in recent weeks in an email to investors and shareholders. REMI had been advised by external legal counsel not to communicate over recent weeks until the modelling was completed, and that allowed the difficult decision to be made. Well, in business, you often have to be a bastard or rude just for insurance or legal purposes. That's how it is sometimes. In an email to investors, the company said law firm HWL Ebsworth had been appointed and a plan had been provided in 14 days, but it's unclear if this ever happened. News.com.au can reveal at least one creditor had demanded payment of debt under the Corporations Act, as of May 3rd. Well, we can all do that. Don't blame them. Affected investors had also reached out to the Australian Security Investment Commission for help before REMI collapsed. Staff exodus. It is understood that REMI Capital had employed more than 50 investment, venture capital and property professionals, but many staff had left the business in recent months. Richard's account manager emailed on March 8, saying he had been chasing answers regarding delayed payments for some time now, and he was completely embarrassed and angered at the action displayed by our leadership team. The email added that he had no visibility into the accounts, but would continue to fight for his clients. However, he resigned from the company just 3 weeks later, claiming there was terrible communication, a lack of payments to clients in a timely fashion, and he was owed superannuation. So, this is one reason why I don't like business. Individuals should pay their own super. It should come with your paycheck every month or every week even, and you should be forced to pay it into your super fund. And if you don't do it, then the super fund can get you arrested. Why don't we do that, guys? So then there's no risk of the business not paying it. Let's do that and let people realize how much money that they're actually being forced by the government to save, like little children. How about that? Anyway, I mean this is why I told my staff, when you're getting your superannuation, one of the advantages of having it where you can see it all the time, I mean, now it's a lot easier. You'd have an app and you'd be able to see when it goes in, is that you're getting paid. Because I had friends, architecture students at university, they'd be working for places for like 6 years and they'd get turfed out. No super paid. So, as a man with a young family and responsibilities, resigning from my job is not something I take lightly, and it certainly isn't the easy option to take. However, I believe it is the right and ethical thing to do, he wrote in an update to his clients. I don't blame him. Yeah, high yield returns. That's it. High yield returns bring high risk. Richard, who has 2 kids, aged 6 and 3, said the family recently bought a new car, expecting the repayments from REMI Capital to help pay it off. While he's also worried about his funding his children's education. The family's entire life savings are tied up with the company, he added. Oh, shit, mate. For me, personally, I've gone back 10 years in time in my finances. It's impacting my relationship and everything. They knew they were in trouble last year, he claimed. So, this is putting all your eggs in one basket. I understand why. You want to get the return. After news.com.au broke the news of REMI's demise on Thursday, the company shut down its website and social media accounts, while Mr. Postage also deactivated his LinkedIn account. Despite the difficulties the company was facing, its LinkedIn had shown a series of posts in recent months urging self-managed super fund investors to consider diversifying their portfolios and investing in the group. Well, they're trying to generate funds. What makes a good investment for a self-managed super fund will depend on each fund's objectives, one post wrote. If you're looking for investment to enhance your portfolio, talk to one of our experts today. The company had promised to access to responsible and we've already heard that, haven't we? REMI also had property portfolio worth millions with key projects it was spruiking to investors. Its property portfolio spanned Melbourne, including a site in the suburb of Tarnet that had acquired for $9 million to turn into a mixed-use development, and its flagship project at Rockbank, which was purchased for $30 million, with plans for a major activity centre. The administrator, Mr. Baskerville, said they did not believe the company going into administration is related to the construction sector challenges. Really? Okay. And have heard nothing about rising costs of materials or labour shortages having an impact. Now that surprises me, because I thought that would have had a key to, they couldn't offload their projects. Is that what it is? They couldn't sell them. We believe the issues were finance related, and we will continue our investigation to identify the cause of the issues. Our role is to provide the best outcome for creditors, he told news.com.au. He said REMI owned 2 properties and had an option to buy another one, and current options being explored including undertaking a marketing campaign to sell the properties in situ, seeking a refinance package on any other option that is in the creditor's best interest. And they're holding a meeting on the 6th of June, and of course names have been changed. So let's have a talk about this one. What can you say? I mean, can you blame him? Can you blame him investing his money in a development company here? Just don't go all in on one, guys. You got to spread it out. You got to spread it out. You know, don't put it all in one basket. Even your personal and business, put them in separate banks. Even your emergency fund, stash it somewhere else. What do you reckon? It's just sad. Well, at least we can learn from this. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on this one. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Have you ever invested a significant amount of money and lost it? Did you ever get it back? Remember Pyramid Building Society? They got it back eventually, but everyone in Victoria was paying taxes for years on it. Or a levy, sorry. Take care. If you want to help out the channel, there are a few ways you can. You can financially support us by joining us on YouTube or Patreon, using any of our referral links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband, or contacting us if you need architectural services. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next episode of HeiseSays. That's sad. 300 grand. What can you do, eh? Start again. Build up again.